Welcome to today's employer education session on contributions, earnings, and pension adjustments for DBplus. This session is part of our employer education program, which is a key component to managing risk to the plan and is tied to the Employer Attestation of Compliance initiative. The objective of today's presentation is to provide you with a refresher session on the information and tools that you may use on a daily basis in order to calculate and report earnings, contributions, and pension adjustments. We have two presenters today, Sean McFarland from our Finance Department and Evelyn Andel from Employer Services. I will now pass it over to Sean.
Thank you, Sandy. Good morning, everybody. My name is Sean, and I work in the Finance Department here at CAT Pension Plan. In the following slides, I will briefly cover the CAT RPP and CAT RCA contribution remittance process. And when I refer to CAT RPP, I'm referring to the CAT's main plan. The remittance process can be broken down into two distinct parts. The first one is the monthly current contributions and pregnancy parental contributions, along with remittances for DBplus long-term disability contributions. And the second part is pension purchase contributions remittance. The current contribution and pregnancy parental payroll deductions are done monthly. The appropriate form that should accompany the payment is Form 34A, which is titled CAT RPP and CAT RCA Contribution Remittance Summary. RCA stands for Retirement Compensation Arrangement, which is another plan administered by us. It should be emailed to both CIBC Mellon and finance@catpension.on.ca at the same time or just before payments are made for monthly contributions. Please note that the amount remitted should match the dollar total on the remittance form. The contribution payments are due by the 5th Ontario business day of the following month. For example, July 2020 contributions would have been due August 10th, 2020, as August 3rd was a statutory holiday in Ontario. If payments are not received by the 5th Ontario business day, it is subject to a late penalty as specified in our plan text. That late penalty is currently 1.5% per month, and it's prorated for partial months. This form, like all of our other forms, comes with a detailed instruction tab. On this slide, you can see where the forms are located within our employer manual. On this slide, you can see Form 34A. I'll briefly go over the details, starting from the top and working down to the bottom. At the top is Section 1, and that is the employer identification section. Here you will fill in all the green fields, namely name of employer, group number, your name, email, and telephone number. Below is Section 2. This is the contribution section. Here you will fill out the month and year for which your contribution remittance relates to, and the form of payment, as well as the payment date. The total payment amount field will automatically calculate the total of the contributions at the bottom. The second part of the remittance process relates to contributions for pension purchases. The appropriate form to use for RPP pension purchase remittance is Form 14C. On our website, you will also see form number 20C, which is CAT RCA remittance summary for purchase service. That is not applicable here. We ask that you SDoc this form along with related election form to the investment pension accounting team at CIBC Mellon. The link to the SDoc is on the form at the bottom. On this slide, you will see an example of Form 14C, which is CAT RPP remittance summary for purchase service. I'll briefly go over this form, starting from the top and working downwards. This form should be used by employers who are remitting funds for pension purchases for both DB Prime and DBplus. At the top is Section 1, the employer identification section. Similar to 34A that we just saw, here you'll fill in all the green fields, namely name of employer, group number, your name, email, and telephone number. Next is Section 2, the contribution section. Here you'll fill in the form of payment and payment date. The total payment field will automatically calculate the total amounts of your remittance. The table just below the total payment amount is used to report the details of your remittance payment. It has 3 columns: contribution type, amount, and a comment section. The contribution type column lists the contribution types. It lists the different types of buybacks in a drop-down. Please select the appropriate service purchase. If multiple members have the same purchase, for example, if there are 3 members who are reporting a leave of absence, please list each member and amount separately. The amount column is where you would enter the corresponding dollar amount, and the comment section is where you would enter the name for whom the payment is being made for. Please do not include any SIN numbers or any other personal information on the remittance form. Also, we advise that you retrieve the most relevant contribution remittance form from our website at the time when you prepare each remittance. This will ensure that the most current version of the remittance form is being used. This next slide summarizes where and how to send each remittance form. This table, along with additional contribution remittance information, can be found on our website within our employer manual. Next, we will talk about transferring funds. The recommended method is EFT. This slide summarizes CAT's EFT instructions. Should you choose to make payment by check, you can see on the slide CIBC Mellon's address. CIBC Mellon is CAT's custodian, and this is where you would send checks to. This information is also available on our website within our employer manual. Where you can find this information is in the contribution remittance subsection of the contribution service and earning section of the manual. This slide summarizes where you can see the contribution remittance process information on our website. Again, it is within our employer manual. It is also located in the contribution remittance subsection of the contribution service and earnings section of the manual. In this slide, you'll see a summary of all the members of the corporate finance team here at CAT Pension Plan and their contact information. If there are any questions, you can take a break and ask them now, or you can always feel free to email us at any time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sean. Now we will go over earnings, contributions, and pension adjustments. Here are samples of various types of earnings that are categorized as eligible and non-eligible for the purpose of calculating employee and employer contributions. If you have any types of earnings that are not shown here, please contact your employer pension analyst and they can help confirm if those earnings are eligible or non-eligible. Please note the following regarding the contribution maximums for DBplus members. The combined total of member and employer DBplus contributions cannot exceed the year's money purchase limit, which is $27,830 in 2020. Once total contributions for a member have reached the annual limit, no further contributions should be made for the rest of the year. This is similar to the method used for Canada Pension Plan contributions. This aligns with the plan text, any applicable participation agreements, or memorandums of agreement. The contribution calculation formula for DBplus is eligible earnings times member contribution rate plus employer's contributions equals total contributions. We will now discuss pension adjustments for DBplus. The pension adjustment, or PA calculation, is based on member and employer contributions multiplied by the pension factor of 8.5% multiplied by 9 minus the offset of $600. If you have joined the plan during the year, the $600 offset would be prorated for the amount of months in the plan. For instance, if you join the plan on July 1, 2020, the offset would be prorated to account for being in the plan for 6 out of 12 months and would equal $300. Let's go through an example. If a member contributed $4,680 during 2020 and the employer contributed $4,680, the total contributions are $9,360. If you then multiply by 8.5%, this equals a pension benefit of $795.60. Multiply that by 9 equals $7,160. Subtract $600 offset would give you a PA of $6,560. We will be providing a batch pension adjustment tool that employers can use for 2021 and will advise when this tool is available. If you have any questions regarding your pension adjustments for 2020, please contact your employer PA.